Hi, I'm Nicola Mackenzie at Dun & McCarthy Estate Planning and Will Specialists, and in today's video I will be talking you through how to correctly sign your lasting power of attorney documents. Now, the first thing that I just want to point out is that it's crucial that you sign the documents correctly, particularly if you're not registering them straight away, because any errors that you make might be too late to correct, particularly if you've lost capacity before registering the documents. Now, what I will not be doing today is talking through each page by page, because every power of attorney is unique to each individual depending on the choices that you have made. But we will start by just generically explaining some of the common pitfalls. So if you have a financial decisions lasting power of attorney, then we are going to start with this one. Whilst if you've had also a health and care decisions lasting power of attorney, both the documents are very, very similar, but there are just a few minor differences. But I will come on and talk about the health and care decisions a bit later on. So the first thing that you'll want to do is turn over the first page, and we're looking at section 1, which explains the donor. Now, the donor is the person that is creating the lasting power of attorney document. So in this case, the donor will be referred to as you throughout the document. And what I would need you to do is check through this section to make sure that you're happy with all of the spellings on names, addresses, and your date of birth is correct. In the unlikely event that anything needs amending, then please do contact the office and we would be happy to rectify it and send it back out to you. Now, what we need to do throughout the document as we turn over to the next page is, again, check through that all of the information that you have provided to us is correct. So the next section will usually talk about your attorneys and any replacement attorneys. So just check through and make sure that their names, addresses and dates of births are all correct. And then the next step will be for us to look through this document page by page and look for any boxes that require either a signature or a mark. So any boxes where it says signature or mark, those are the sections that we need to pay attention to. So I'm going to keep flicking through this document until we reach one of those pages, checking my replacement attorneys' names and addresses, and checking through any other names and addresses of people and dates of birth are correct. Now, before we reach one of the signature sections, there is a section which is number 8 that's titled Your Legal Rights and Responsibilities. Now, it's important that everyone signing this document must read this information and make sure that you're happy with what is being asked of you, okay? And the first signature that we reach is section 9. It says signature donor. So on the left, there's a box titled donor, and the donor, the person creating the power of attorney, you will need to sign or mark where it says signature or mark. You will also need to date the document with the date that you are signing it. Along the right hand side, you can see that there is a witness section. So your witness must not be an attorney or a replacement attorney and must be aged over 18. That person needs to sign or mark, put their full name and their address. Now, the next section, which is section 10, asks for a certificate provider. So again, we can see signature, certificate provider. A signature is required on this page. Now, a certificate provider, you need to read through this section to make sure that you are clear on who can and cannot act as your certificate provider. Usually a certificate provider is somebody that's known you for 2 years or more, or you can ask somebody with the relevant professional skills and expertise. So as an example, that could be a doctor. Ask that person to print their name and their address and then put their signature or mark and date the document as well. Now, the next section, again at the top, says signature, attorney or replacement. So we know that this section will also need a signature. On the left hand side, it says attorney or replacement attorney. So you will most likely find this section already pre-completed with a name only. So the attorney or replacement attorney will need to sign or mark and put today's date, and they will need to do that in the presence of a witness. So again, the witness cannot be the donor of the lasting power of attorney, so that's you, the person creating the document, and must be aged over 18. And the witness again needs to sign or mark, put their full name and put their address. And then each attorney needs to do exactly the same. So depending on how many attorneys and replacement attorneys, if you've decided to appoint replacement attorneys that you've specified, then each person will need to sign, date, and then a witness also needs to sign, put their name and address to confirm that they've seen that person sign the document. Now, if you do make any mistakes, or if a witness or an attorney or a certificate provider makes a mistake, then that's okay. What you need to do is just put a neat line through the mistake, make the correction, and then initial next to the mistake. Now, the people that need to initial next to the mistake are the people that have signed that particular page, okay? So the people that have signed that particular page need to initial next to the error just to confirm that it has been amended, okay? And then what I would strongly advise that you do is go back to the beginning and then turn through and look through each page individually, again, just to double check and look for every section that requires a signature or mark, and just make sure that there is a signature in that section and that that person's details have been fully completed as part of that section as well. Now, onto health and care decisions. So if you have also arranged a health and care decisions lasting power of attorney, then the document in the main will be very similar to what I've just described in the financial decisions lasting power of attorney, with the exception even of one section, which is section 5. So if we go to section 5 of this document, and I will talk you through how it differs from the financial decisions. Section 5 talks about life-sustaining treatment. So you will not see this appear in a financial decisions lasting power of attorney, but it is something that you will need to pay attention to in a health and care decisions one. Now, in this section, you have two options, option A and option B. Now, if we've already had the conversation with you, then you might find that one of those boxes is already crossed out because you've told us which of those options you would prefer. In which case, sign the box that does not have a cross through it and date underneath, and then ask a witness again to sign or mark, put their full name and their address. But if you've not indicated which of those options you would prefer, then you will find option A and option B blank, in which case you need to fully read through those sections, read through both of those choices, and then once you've decided whether you would prefer option A or option B, then you need to put your signature and the date in either option A or option B, where it indicates. And your witness, in the presence of a witness, they would also need to sign or mark, put their full name and put their address in that section. So I hope that that's covered off all of the key points of how to sign your lasting power of attorney documents. Of course, if you've got any questions or queries, or if you are unsure of anything, then please do contact the office and we would be happy to talk you through. Otherwise, that's everything for today's video, and I hope that's been useful for you.